Yeah. And that's one example on one end of the spectrum where some people might argue that there is a chance that someone is less likely, for example, to learn a language because we can all speak to each other in real time in different languages. I think nobody would really argue that therefore we shouldn't have that kind of universal translator, right?
Also,
like,
a lot
there's
of
one end
people
of the
still
spectrum
learn
that's
Latin and Greek.
Right, exactly.
So.
And so I think that end of the spectrum is something like technologies that really measurably unlock our humanity because they remove a struggle between people. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there are a lot of educational things, for example, where the struggle is kind of the point, right? Like it's like building a muscle. Like I can think of so many times in my life where like the reason why I was doing something was not the output. It was the fact that I was trying so hard to do it. There's one example in the Tim Ferriss interview where you talked about your kids struggling to articulate themselves emotionally. And adults very much have the same problem. And you talked about AI as a way to help them articulate those emotions.
Yeah.
And I thought about all of the many times in my life where I have struggled to articulate my emotions and how I really could have used some help in those moments. And I also found myself thinking about the times when that was really building a muscle, where like the act of struggling to communicate with someone and understand what they wanted from me was important to my development. And so my question is, if you think about that as a spectrum between things that are really important to our humanity and the struggle being removed is helpful, versus things where the struggle is the point and it unlocks something about our humanity and is important to preserve, like building a muscle. How do you draw the line between those things, and how do we ensure that the muscles that we're building for this future are stronger and not weaker?